having a landlocked country, and then we have a unique position representing the Mongolia is bordered between the China and Russia. So we have a very important role to, play in the Mongolian diplomacy all over the world.
Except, as we know, aviation requires, it's very expensive,
of course,
and it requires size, it requires scale,
right,
and that you don't have.
Well, I mean, comparing to the global airlines, we are quite small. But in the other hand, in Mongolia, we are the only national carrier that is the member of IATA, and we have been audited by IOSA. And also, other than the airline operation, we also have the maintenance organization.
Where are you going to grow? How are you going to grow?
Mongolia has only 3.3 million people, which is, very limited markets that we have been competing around the world. So only key strategic for us to expand our network by having a partnership with the different airlines to make that connectivity around the world.
You can end up with 1,001
of course,
bilateral relations point to point.
Point to point, yes.
And that will just get you point to point traffic.
Right.
But you really want to get the beyond
code shares, yes. That's what we're looking to have.
And at some point, do you have to choose a preferred partner?
Well, I mean, it's really hard to say that having a preferred partner will definitely, depending on how they're going to do, it's really dependent from their airlines. But having a difficulty for us being in a landlocked country and trying to expand our network with the limited resources, I said, it would be much easier for us to have a various number of partnerships with the different airlines instead of having a preferred one.
Would an alliance give you that range of code shares and beyonds?
We are actively pursuing to get into the One World Connect program, which is the, not actually Airlines, but it is the Connect program where, one of those two main partnerships we're in, which is one of the Cathay Pacific and Japan Airlines.
So you have nailed your colours. I mean, you've nailed your colours to the mast. And I agree it's not mutually exclusive.
Of course,
you can still do bilaterals with Turkish and whatever.
Definitely.
But if you're going for a One World Connect,
of course,
you're going for the One World Alliance. Is there a risk that you're going to try and dance with everybody?
I don't think so. Because, just to give you an example, our neighbor, Russia, has some conflict with Ukraine, the military conflict with Ukraine, starting from the last year, since, we are landlocked. We were supposed to fly over to Russia to get into Europe. But unfortunately, our reinsurers has stopped the coverage because of the conflict, overflying over to Russia. But we do have a unique position between China and Russia, where we have a really strategic and friendly partnership with them. But there is no way out of that because it's our position. So I think, on the other hand, different airlines such as, Turkish, the huge player of Star membership, has understanding of how we are, where we are. I think that's one of the key, and we would definitely not to lose the partnership with them.
I feel that I'm listening to the airline equivalent of the national strategy of friends to everybody and the third neighbor.
Definitely, yes. Definitely agree with you. Like, Mongolia is landlocked. We are greatly friends with our two neighbors. That's our unique position. And as a state, as a Mongolia, I'm not in the position to answer that actually, but in my opinion, personally, I think we are friendly with all third neighbors because that's the diplomacy we have.